Welcome to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. There was a question in a comment in last week's video regarding saying that I should get a website. To quickly answer that, well, I don't really see it necessary to have a website when we have a Slack group. It takes my mind and my time out of looking for trades and trading. You know, I'd really have to. If I was going to get a website, I'd really have to hire someone to run the website and keep it up and running. So that's why I don't have a website. The Slack group is quite adequate to train people and to do everything that we're looking at doing. So getting on to the weekly outlook, starting with the DXY on the daily, we got the 5 down, looking at A, B, C. This in here, we got a little trend line break in here. We've never broken this trend line here yet. I was hoping that we'd get this internal C wave down here, but it doesn't look like this is over yet. So if we go down to the H4, see what we got. We got 5 up here, and then we get an A, B, C, bounced off that trend line, and we have bullish divergence here. Now we've broken out of this trend line. So if you get any little bullish setup, look for the buy to go and break the top. Yeah, we never had any bearish divergence like from this top to this top. There's no bearish divergence. So I dare say if we do get another higher high, we will start to get bearish divergence in here. Moving on to AU on the daily. So nothing's really changed. We're looking for W, X, Y, X2, and then the Z down. We don't have bearish divergence in here. That's a big concern. Bit concerning. On the H4, we do have bearish divergence though, between here and here. So I really am looking for more downside. This is looking like a flat in here though, for more upside, but we'll have a look on the H1. This is very choppy. Last week we were just looking for more down, like a flag in here or correction in here to look for the downside. This one's actually gone and broken the top. So more than likely it's a flat for an A, B, C down, and then we get more upside. But I'm really only looking for sells for that Z down. EU on the daily. So I'm looking at A, B, C. So I'm looking for upside. We've nearly got to that 50 fib retrace of this move here. Like I was mentioning over here, if you go back through my videos, I'm looking for that 50 fib retrace, and this is a larger correction before we get more upside. On the H4, this was very choppy here. This was very choppy in here, and turns out we got bearish divergence. We've got a trend line in here. We've got a break. So if you do get a bearish setup, you know, you can look for a sell. Be careful, because then we will be starting to get bullish divergence. So look for your sell setup on your H1. Any bearish setup you get, you can look for that sell, because we do have bearish divergence on that H4. GU on the daily. Nothing's changed. We're looking for A, B, C. We're looking for that downside down to this 100 fib here. This one did bounce off that, like A, B, C. It bounced off that 100 fib in here. So a bit of luck, we get that C down now. On the H4, we were looking for that Z up last week. Couldn't rule out that Z up. So I said, if you get any sell setup, look for the sell setup because we bounced off that 100 fib. Unfortunately, we never broke the top. We haven't broken the top. It still can be an X, and we do get a Z up. But really, I'm really only looking for the sell for that C, larger C down. I don't think we have any. Yeah, see, we don't have any bullish divergence here. I'll just take this off. We don't have any bullish divergence. So if you do get a bearish setup on the H1, bearish flag, or whatever you're looking at selling, however you look to sell, whatever setup you get, look for that sell. So that's what I'll be looking for this week, a sell setup. Excuse me. Any little bearish flag in here, look for the sell. I don't, it's still, like I said, this is still looking rather bullish. So we may get another one up. If we do get another one up, it's going to give us bearish divergence. So wait for a nice sell setup before you take it. And be mindful that we may get another one up here. And you on the daily. So this is quite difficult because this low here never broke this low. So I was looking for that A, B, C, and never went anywhere near the 100 fib. And it is technically complete, like I've been saying. It did break the ending point of wave A, this wave C. But I never really like it that way because it can turn into a larger correction in here. It can turn into, there's a number of different structures it can turn into here when we don't get that C breaking this low, giving us a bullish divergence. We do have bullish divergence in here, but this is clearly a B wave in here because we got 3 down with bullish divergence. So it makes it difficult. On the H4, we're looking for that larger A, B, C, like I explained last week. And we've got a WXY, looking for the X2 down to this 38.2 and then a possible Z up. We still haven't crossed down here. So ideally, we get a little bit more downside in here. And then if you get a bullish setup on the H1, you can look for that Z up. And you'd be targeting the 161.8. It's really too early because we haven't got the cross down. It's really too early to draw the targets. But you first target's that 123.6 and then the 161.8. UY on the daily. So we're looking at that A, B, C up to this 100 fib. We don't have any bearish divergence here. We've lost the bearish divergence. So any bullish setup you get, you definitely can look for the buy. H4, we got this W, a large correction in X2, and then we got wave Y up, and we're looking for the X2 back down to this 38.2 and then the Z up. This is a large correction, so we're sort of expecting a larger correction in here, similar size. On the H1, we can look at this as a flat. We've got one down. I'm looking at it as a possible flat in here because we've got 3 down in here. So we get an A, B, C, and then your A, B, C. Sort of way I'm looking at it. We do have bullish divergence, so you can look to buy. If you get a little flag in here, you can look to buy it, but just be mindful that it may just break this top and then fall over on you for like the larger C down. So just be mindful of that. I don't think we have bear hidden here. No, we don't quite have the bear hidden, but this may give the bear hidden here. Like, may just give you another high, and then give you a bear hidden here. And then if it does give you that bear hidden, if you get a sell set up, look for that sell at and your first target, that 100 fib, wherever that 100 fib will be. The Swissy on the daily. So this is getting quite interesting too. We're looking at that A, B, C. We have to see if this here, this is definitely a B wave, whatever's happening in here. But we have to look to see if this is actually complete, because if we go down to the H4, this here is very choppy. You know, this was very choppy for a C wave. So I can't rule out, we've bounced off this 100 fib here for an A, B, C as a possible flat in here. And then you get that A, B, C. See that I've drawn this 100 fib here. It's bounced clean off that 100 fib. I haven't shown this structure before because I really like to see this fall over. And I wasn't sure if this was a C up or a B wave, but now because it's bounced off that 100 fib there, we sort of can start to look at this as a flat for an A, B, C, possible C up. I'm only, like I said, I'm only really interested in the sells, but I have been only really interested in the sells. Like I've been saying, though, this is very choppy. Now, it's very, very choppy. So the only real way to trade this for that buy is to get a buy setup. If we look at this as the flat in here, you really want to break out of this trend line. You want to break out of here, and then give you the correction or a flag or something to buy. You need that buy setup. If we look on the H1, we've been getting a lot of these bear hidden divergences. So here we got a bear hidden and it went and broke the low. Here we got another bear hidden, it went and broke the low. And now we don't have any bullish divergence. So it's very hard to look for the buy because we don't have that bullish divergence. This may just give a flag in here or a little correction in here, give another one up, not breaking this top, and give you another bear hidden and you get another one down. So it's more like I've been saying, this is scalping. You're scalping this because it's so choppy. You're only really scalping. So you really want to see this go and break this top, break out of the trend line, and then give you a bullish flag or a correction, and then look for the buy. Because like I said, it can just go straight down here and break that low again, then giving you the bullish divergence. And then, you know, if you do get a buy set up there, that's where you want to take that buy for that possible larger C up. For that C up before we get that C down, like I showed with that possible flat correction, that running flat correction. Looking at UCAD on the daily. I've lost all my, here we go. So this here, down here, is still looking pretty much bearish. Like I've been saying, I'm looking at all this as a correction before we get a C up. This B wave can go and break that low, but it's still going to be a B wave, and we'll get a C up for some sort of a running or expanding flat here before we get more downside. On the H4, like I've been saying the last couple of weeks, we can look at this as a 3-3-5 pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can turn into a 3-3 pattern as well, and we just get 3 down in here. We don't have any bear hidden here. That's the problem. Last week we were looking for that correction back up to that 38.2 for the X2, and then a possible Z down. Looking at the H1, unfortunately, this here didn't go and break that low. It had a nice correction in here, and I was actually looking for this sell in here. I was actually watching this, and it never gave me the sell setup, so I didn't get it. But I was only looking for the scalp. But now we've got 3 up in here, you know. So you need a trend line break, little bearish flag to look for that sell down. Yeah, it's getting tricky because it's starting to get too large. This correction here is starting to get too large. We're looking for a similar size correction as this here. Now that would have been perfect if that went and broke that low. Unfortunately it didn't, so it's become a little bit more complex, and I'd really be staying out of this now until something becomes clear. Even on the M30, I don't think we see, even on the M30, we don't have any bearish divergence. So here and here, we don't have any bearish divergence. So you can really only look for, more than likely, this will give another correction in here and then go and break that top there. And then will it fall over? Well, we're not sure, but you know, you really need to wait on this a little bit longer and see what sort of a structure it gives you. It's not really playing the game, unfortunately. Looking at the GY on the daily, nothing's changed. Looking at WXY, X2, it's hit the first target, the 123.6, and we're looking for that second target, 161.8. This is still looking rather bullish up here. It hasn't fallen over, so, and it's choppy up here, so more than likely we'll get more upside. H4, we're looking for that X2 like I showed last week, so we're looking for a WXY X2 down to this 38.2 to give us that risk reward, and then you can look for that Z up. On the H1, so looking at the price action, if I zoom in a bit here, this is a B wave. So I have to look at it as an A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C for a larger flat in here before you get an A, B, C, finishing off this X wave before you get the Z up. So this may turn quite complex in here because we'll be looking at a flat. So you get another one down in here, another one up for your A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C. So this may turn quite complex. You've broken a trend line in here, or not on this time frame, but you've broken out of here. So if you do get a little flag in here, you can look for the sell, but it's only going to be a scalp. Because more than likely this is just an A, B, C looking at this price action because this is so choppy in here. So that's basically how the structure I'm currently looking at on GY. Yeah, GY. EG on the daily. So we're looking at WXY, X2, Z down. We've hit that first target, 123.6, and it can possibly go down to this 161.8, the second target. On the H4, we're starting to get the correction. So we got an A. We should get a B wave in here. then a C down, possibly down to that daily 161.8. I dare say we're just going to get a correction in here. It's not giving any signs of a reversal, you know. We do have a higher high here with bullish divergence. So you can really only look for the buy. And you more than likely will get a buy setup. Because more than likely this is a flat here. We do have bull hidden divergence here. So if you do get any little bullish setup, look for that buy. You'd have to go down onto the M15 or a lower time frame to look for your setup. But we got bull hidden here. So, you know, I dare say this will go and break that top. So if you get any little buy setup in there, look for that buy. Looking at gold on the daily. This is becoming quite complex as well. If I just zoom out a bit, sorry. So we're looking at that WXY. Then we got a possible bear hidden, like I've been saying, but this one didn't break that low. So we're looking at it as an A, B, and we're looking for the C up to this 100 fib. Problem I see is this was looking really nice here. And if we just got a correction in here or a little flag to go up to there, it would have been a nice for the A, B, C, and then you get that larger A, B, C. Unfortunately, we got all this. We got this here. Got a deep correction in there, and this is definitely looking corrective, like I've been showing for the last few weeks. When we go down to the H4, so like I've been saying on the H4, we got an A up here, then we got a B wave. I had the B over here, but then we got all this. This is very choppy, and we've even got divergence here, like I showed last week. So I was looking at that as an A, B, C to finish off that B wave before you get that A, B, C. And that's the way I'm still looking at it. So if you do get a sell set up in here, we've got a trend line break with bearish divergence. So if you get any little bearish setup in here, look for that C. I can draw that 100 fib because we do have enough data to give us that C down. Settings. So your first target in this 100 fib here. So like I say, if you get any bearish setup in here, any little bearish flag, you can look for that sell. Be more interested in this sell because this is looking so corrective, this in here. WTI on the daily, nothing's changed. We got WXY, X2, and we're nearly up to that 161.8, that second target. You can also see on the monthly, this 100 fib just up here at the 92.97 area. But yeah, if we go to the H4, we're looking at that. We're looking for that Z up. So we get a WXY, X2, and a Z up. If you look here, we do have bull hidden divergence. Now this is quite tricky. We don't have any bearish divergence, right? But when we look at the H1, this can go either way. If you're looking for the buy, and you get a nice flag in here, you have to be quite careful because we have bear hidden here. So this can, you know, go and break that low, giving us the bullish divergence before we get that Z up. So you have to be quite careful here. H4, it's giving that bull hidden, and on the H1, it's giving a bear hidden. So I mean, you can trade this. If you do get a bullish setup in here, you can look for it. Keep very tight stops. Keep very tight stops, because like I said, it may just break this top here and then fall over on you and give you like another one down in here. So this would be quite risky. Ideally, it does give us that one down in here, giving us that bullish divergence, and then we get a buy setup to go and trade that Z up. That's what I'm sort of looking at to trade this. I won't trade a bullish flag up here, you know, but yeah, you can. It's very risky. We don't have the bullish divergence, but you know, Bitcoin on the daily. So we've broken that top. We've broken that top like I showed last week. This is still looking rather bullish in here. We don't have any bearish divergence. So we may get a correction a similar size to this in here, giving us that bull hidden. And then we get another one up. And you see here on the H4, we're looking at WXY, X2, and then the Z up. Problem was we didn't get any bearish divergence. This is still looking rather bullish here. Last week we were looking for that 50 fib retrace, like of this wave down, to give us some sort of a correction in here to give us more upside. We were starting to get that correction, so we're looking for that 50 fib retrace, ideally to give us the risk reward to buy. If we look on the H1, we don't have any bullish divergence. I don't think we have any bullish divergence. No, we don't have any bullish divergence there. So again, you have to be very careful, because this may be a flat in here for an A, B, C. This is looking a little bit bullish up here, so you may get another one up here before you get that C down. Ideally, that's what we get, some sort of a flat to give us that another one down, to give us that risk reward, and then you can look for that buy. Very risky to be buying up here, you know. On the H1 last week, like I said, we had that bearish divergence. There was that possible bull hidden here as well, like I showed last week, to go and break that top. But we're looking for that correction, and I don't think this correction is over. It's very choppy, and we don't have that bullish divergence, so it's risky to be buying. But yeah, it's up to you. If you get a buy setup, you know, you possibly could look for it. You know, if you get some sort of an A, B, C, you want a nice impulse down here, and then look for your buy setup down here instead of up here. You don't want to look for your buy setup here. You can see you get one, you got 1, 2, 3 up. So you want that one down in here, and then get your buy setup, giving you a better risk reward for a flat in here. And then you can look for an A, B, C, first targeting that 100 fib. But yeah, it's you're at a top, so you have to be a bit careful. Looking at S&P 500, we're nearly at that 100 fib. We're just about at that 100 fib. Eventually, we're looking for that ABC back down to the 50 fib. Again, a lot of bearish divergence on the daily as well, you know. Yeah. And as I've been pointing out for ages, you know, we're getting a lot of bearish divergence. Very risky to be buying. On H4, I was sort of looking for an A, B, C up in here for another A, B, C down. Like I've been saying, you know, this is the indices. You know, they just keep on going up, and more than likely with Joe Biden, with that infrastructure bill, you know, if that passes, well, it's going to flood the market with even more money. And as we know, the money doesn't go to the little guy on the street. It goes to the big banks and big business. So where do they put their money? They put it in the stock market. That's why this just keeps on going up. So we were looking for last week, getting a little bit off track there, we're looking at WXY, X2, and then a Z up. We still are in a wave Y here. We're nearly at that 200 fib. Oh, nearly at that 200 fib of this move here. We breached that 161.8 and we're nearly at that. The 200 fib and that 100 fib on the daily are virtually at the same level. So I dare say we'll get some sort of a bounce off this level here to give us that X2, and then we may get a Z up. So be very careful trading this up here. I mean, it's giving buy setups on the H1, and like I said, you can trade them. Be very careful. You know, they're only scalps. You're only scalping up here. So you got a break, then another correction. You got a break, so you probably get another correction. Get a break, and then you may get that larger correction for the X2. So be very careful scalping. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence on the H1 now. So extremely, this is a larger correction here. This was a larger correction here, so you could have traded that. But yeah, very risky now. We're getting all that bearish divergence. AU 200. Like I said last week, we've got that possible bull hidden here. So I said maybe this will go up and break that top like S&P did. Looking at the price action in here, we've sort of got an A, B, C, and then we may get an A, B, C up. It's looking bearish for a larger correction in here, possibly the same size as this one. So we get a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z up. So we're sort of looking for a correction a similar size to that over here. This is, see, we bounced off this 100 fib in here. We're looking at an A, B, C. I thought I had the count on here, but I must have taken it off. But we've broken this trend line in here. We're looking at like an A, B, C. This is very choppy. So we have to sort of look at this as a B wave. So we get an A, B, get a C down before we get an A, B, C, before we get a larger A, B, C. Looking at the H1, see, you can only really look for sells because we got this bearish divergence. We got a lower low. You know, you can only really look for sells. So you really want a correction, some sort of a correction, A, B, C up in here before you look for a trend line break and a little bearish setup to trade for an A, B, C. Breaking this low, I'd be waiting on it to get a nice sell setup. You may get bear hidden here, like on the M30, it may give you bear hidden. It's not quite giving you bear hidden yet, but you more than likely will get bear hidden on the M30 or the M15, and it's really you're really only. I'm not looking for the buys at all, like I've been saying for a long time. We're at tops, very risky to be buying. If you do get a sell set up, I'll be more interested in a sell. Looking at the DAX on the daily. So this is nearly up to the 100 fib as well. This is more than likely a flat in here, like I showed last week. Well, look, it's giving all this bearish divergence. Very, very risky to be buying. But this one did give a lower low, like I said last week. So you can really only look for low sells, but you know, there is that possible flat in here, and you get another one breaking that top, going up to that 100 fib. If it does break that top, you know, we're going to get even more bearish divergence. It's only a matter of time before this falls over, gives us a larger correction. On the H4, looking at A, B, C, I was looking at this as a possible A, B, C, and then we get larger A, B, C, and that still is possible. We haven't broken that top, or have we? Yeah, we have just broken that top now. This is looking bullish. Go down to the H1. We had those 5 up. W, X, Y, X2, Z up with bearish divergence. Now we're getting a bull hidden here. It's not valid to trade, but you can see, you know, this is very corrective as a larger correction. If you get a bullish setup in here, little flag, something to buy, you can scalp it, and you're only scalping, you know, just to break that top, because you will get even more bearish divergence. Very risky, but if you want to look for that buy, you can. You're breaking the trend line. Oh, well, it's not really a trend line on this time frame, but you know, you've broken out. So if you do get a buy set up, you can look for it. The FTSE on the daily. Again, this is a little bit different because I'm looking at that as an A, all this is a B, and we should get a C down. Eventually we get a C down before we get a larger A, B, C possibly. It's nearly at that 100 fib. Again, I was just looking for on the H4, A, B, C. It's hit that 100 fib there. But this is looking still bullish because, you know, it's only just broken the top and we got the cross down now. It didn't give ball hidden, but this may be a flat in here for an A, B, C, or even a like W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z up. Very risky because as soon as this goes up here, we're going to get bearish divergence here. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. Hit the thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe, and enjoy your week.